So our goal in this video is going to be to actually rotate a shape through a given angle. But in order to do that, first we need to make sure we know how to construct some angles. So we're going to start with constructing an equilateral triangle. And as we just talked about, in an equilateral triangle, we know the sum of all the angles is 180. So each angle individually would have to be 60 degrees because there are 3 of them and they equal 180. So we're going to construct an equilateral triangle following these steps. So we're going to start by drawing a segment with our straight edge that's going to be the length of one of our sides. So we're going to take a straight edge, we're going to construct a segment, and we're going to name that segment AB. So make one endpoint A and make one endpoint B. When you have that, give me a thumbs up. So now we're going to take our compass, grab your compass, and we're going to use our compass as a measuring point. So remember, equilateral triangles all have all equal sides. So I'm going to put my compass point at point A, and I'm going to open this up the length of point B. So that's measuring the side of my compass. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw an arc the same length from A. So that arc tells me anywhere on that arc, I am that distance away from point A, just like I am here. Now I'm going to switch this around so that my compass point is at point B. And I'm going to do the same thing because remember we want this length to be the same. So from point B, I'm going to do the same exact thing. So what I really have here is a given length, and then I know that this point where these intersect is that length away from A and that length away from B. So what I need to do now is construct the connection between A and that point and between B and that point. I'm going to name that point C. And that is going to be an equilateral triangle. And remember that in an equilateral triangle, each of those angles is 60 degrees. So before we move on, I want you to do this again. Anywhere on your page, draw a segment and then construct an equilateral triangle. And when you feel like you have that, give me a thumbs up and I'll come check it. So now what we're going to do is use the fact that we know what a 60-degree angle looks like, right? It's any of these angles in my equilateral triangle to actually rotate a point 60 degrees. So right here, it says find triangle A prime, B prime, C prime after a rotation around F of 60 degrees. So that's that notation. F is my center, 60 degrees is my amount. And remember that this means 60 degrees counterclockwise, because clockwise would be a negative rotation. So 60 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going to use what we just learned here, and we're going to rotate a point and then see what else we need to rotate. So I'm going to start by connecting one of my pre-image points to the center of rotation. So I'm going to start with C here. So I'm going to connect C to F. And what I want to do here is copy that 60-degree angle that I just made to this. So we're going to go up to our equilateral triangle, and we're going to copy this angle. So here's my compass, and I know I want to copy that angle. So I'm going to start with my compass open, an arbitrary amount. I'm going to draw an arc that goes through both sides of that angle. And now I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to do the same thing. So when I draw this arc, I want it to go pretty much all the way around because that's going to save me from having to redraw arcs over and over and over again. So I'm going to draw this most of the way around so that we can refer back to it. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we want to measure how far open this angle is. So I'm going to measure from one endpoint here, or one intersection point, to the other intersection point. So I'm just taking my compass, adjusting it to the width that that angle is open, and then I'm going to slide that down, and we're going to copy this angle. So we're going to slide this down to the intersection of my arc and the segment, and we're going to draw an arc right there. So that is the copied angle. That should be a 60-degree angle right here. So I'm going to take my line drawing tool and I'm going to connect those. That is a 60-degree angle. So all I need to figure out now is where exactly C prime will be on that angle. So I'm going to take my compass. I'm going to measure how far out C is, because this is an isometry, so it should preserve distance. and that's how far out C is, so that will be how far out C prime is. So that point right there is the point C prime, and I'm just going to fill that in with my pen right there. That would be C prime. So we're going to label that. So I want to do the same thing now for the other 2 points. So we're going to connect from B to F. We already have this arc drawn. So now what I want to do is I want to go back and remeasure my angle up here. And once I do that, I can copy that down. So there's that. I'm going to slide this down to the intersection of my arc with my segment. And that would be right there. So I know that's going to be where my new angle is. So I'm going to put in that point from F to there. That would be 60 degrees. And now the question is, how far out should point B prime be? So we're going to measure from the center of rotation to B prime, or to B, sorry. And then we're going to swing that around to get where B prime should be. So that would be the point where B prime should be. So I'm going to label that B prime. Now I want to do the same thing for A. So construct the line, or just draw in the line from A to F. Again, you already have your arc there, so we're going to copy that angle. So I'm going to pause the video. You try this. If you feel like you got it, give me a thumbs up. So same thing here. We're going to measure how far open this is. That's open to about there. We're going to slide that down so we can copy the angle. So now we're going from the intersection on that line that connects A and F. And we want to see where that connects our arc. So that would connect with our arc right there. So that's my line where A prime will have to be through that. So now I just need to figure out how far A prime is out. So from F, I'm going to measure out to A prime. Again, measuring all the way out to A, not A prime. And then I'm just going to draw an arc so that intersects my new line. And so that would be the point A prime. So now I could just connect those. I'm going to do that in a little bit of a thicker line just so you guys can see where these would be. So there's B prime, there's C prime, there's A prime. So that would be my rotated triangle.